everybody, here we are going to see the concepts of microprocessor. So before going into the concepts, what is microprocessor? The microprocessor is a computer processor, which means it processes the data and it transfers the controls to the circuit, which means to the computer. So it contains a logical and an arithmetic instructions, which means the zeros and ones which are fetched by the computer. It's decoded and it converts the machine level language, so which are readable by the users. So these are the example look of the microprocessor, which is an Intel Pentium 4, which was using the current time. So the next one is, the types of microprocessor are known. Before that, the components of the microprocessor are the CPU, bus and memory. So CPU will convert the instructions which are accepted by the CPU, which has three components, which is control unit, arithmetic unit. It transfers the code to the bus. The instructions are stored as a data. Then the data will be stored with some memory. So the memory allocation will be done by the memory statement. So these are the components of the microprocessor. So the next one is the types of and the generations list of the microprocessors. So the first generation is a 4-bit microprocessor. So 4-bit, the answer is in the content. So 4-bit means it was contains a 4 bit, so 4004, which has a 4-bit microprocessor. Then a second generation processor was a 8-bit microprocessor. 8-bit means 800. So it has an 8 bits, so it calculated as an 8008. Then third and fourth generations are, the third generation microprocessor were 16-bit microprocessor, whereas the fourth generation is a 32-bit microprocessor. So the number will be differ as 80286, 80386 because of third and fourth. Then the last generation is the fifth generation, which is as a 64 microprocessor, and it was named as an Intel Pentium microprocessor. Pentium means which are used by currently us. So it has a high speed and high performances compared to the before generations. So these are the pictures which are used by the following generations, which are past generations. So first generation used the vacuum tubes. Second generation used the transistor, which is like a small in a size. Then a third is an integrated circuits, which are like in a circuit, look-alike circuits. Then the fourth generation is the medium range here of the for us. So it is an Intel core. It's like a chip. Then a final fifth generation is the quantum computers. So this is the current generation for all, and we are all using the quantum computers as now. So the next one is the example of microprocessor is 8086. So the 8086 is a version of an 8085 microprocessor. So it was designed by the Intel. So it has a 16-bit microprocessor, which is in a second generation's concepts. So and having a 20 address lines. So which has a following an address and instruction sets. So let us see the parts of the processes. The first one is the registers, then the pointers, then the index registers. So the segment registers and instruction pointers will be in the BIO because the processor is divided into two, EU and BIU. EU is an execution unit and BU is a bus interface. So data and registers will be stored in the BIU and execution part will be flag. Then decoding will be upper in the execution unit. So these are divided into two passed to the execution, and finally the execution will be done by the ALU process. Because it is a processor, so it almost consists the arithmetic unit, and it converts the code into an operands. Then the operand value will executed as a zeros and ones for the computer language, and it displayed as an information for the user. That's all about the microprocessor. So the microprocessor is that reduces the cost of processing power and increasing the reliability focuses on real-time applications. So when a computer is used, the processor is must because of we are processing any program or a function. So for the system, the processor is main. Then the system is a large many frames and supercomputers. So this wide use of microprocessor we are containing and we are developing our human civilization. So it is a useful and a main component in our computer. That's all about the microprocessor. Let us see about new topics in another video. Thank you all.